Welcome to Awakening Within. I'm your host, Jill McPherson. On today's show, we're talking about energy healing. And for those just tuning in now, we've been talking with Debra Jones, who is a Reiki master, and just been explaining Reiki and some energy sessions that she has with clients. So we're just going to continue on from there. So if somebody comes to see you, if we can kind of get into more detail of what might they expect to have happen if they come with some sort of physical ailment or other issues that are bothering them.
Mm-hmm. Well, sometimes when they're making the appointment, they're not even sure what they would like to have,
Right.
what kind of treatment they need.
They just know there's this issue, but they don't know what they need.
Exactly, and
Right.
that would probably be most people.
Right.
And so what I say is just come for an energy healing session.
Okay.
And that can include Reiki, it can include the chakra balancing, card readings, things like that, shamanic work even, and crystal healing.
Okay.
So crystal healing, I use that quite a lot.
Okay.
In my hand.
And you've brought in some lovely crystals for us today.
Mm-hmm.
So we could even go that way. Like, what might you use these crystals for, and even how does it work? Like, you know, for some people, we look at these and they're just some rocks. Like, you know, so how would this help us with
Beautiful
healing?
rocks, aren't
yeah, pretty. But how's this going to help me feel better?
Exactly.
Right.
Well, we brought a picture of a crystal healing session. So there's a picture of the stone on the forehead.
All right, so
there.
I can get one of the.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we'll just look at these first on the table and see what we've got here.
So there's lots of different uses for crystals.
Okay.
Crystals can be very gentle healing. They have a very gentle healing power.
Right.
So we can use them for different things. I can use them as crystal grids around a person. I can use them for them holding a crystal. So there's a wand that I can put in their hand that can help the movement of the energy. We talked about energy moving.
Right.
So the pointed end of the wand will help move energy along.
Great.
The picture there with the stone on the forehead.
Right.
It's very powerful to have a stone on the forehead as you're working because it opens up your third eye. It opens up your intuition.
Okay.
So it opens.
That's where one of our energy centers.
That's one of your energy centers.
Okay.
That's your third eye, and that will also help you to get in touch with information that's coming through for you to help you with your own healing.
Okay. And that works how?
It works as it has a resonance, like a vibrational. It's
Right,
like
so this is
vibrational.
vibrating.
Yeah, it has a certain frequency that it vibrates.
Okay.
And when it talks to our energy centers, they are also vibrating at a certain level too.
Right.
So it's like a tuning fork.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's like
Yeah,
the piano. Like
exactly.
in the old days when they used to tune the piano and you would like ding and then
Whether you got it there or not.
Yeah, so
exactly.
when you hit the key, that vibration, it makes the tuning fork. So
Yeah.
it's just sort of like a tuning fork.
It is like a tuning fork, yeah.
Okay.
And different crystals have different vibrational properties.
Right. So like a C or a G or an F sharp on your piano,
Yep.
there's different.
Different,
okay.
exactly.
Okay, I'm
and
getting it.
different colors also, different colors of the different crystals. The colors have different colors have different vibrations.
Okay.
So we've seen a picture of the chakras where the lower one is the red,
Right.
and then the orange and the yellow. It's going up to lighter, up to white, at the top of your head, which is higher energy. This
Right.
is dense, heavier energy,
Right.
and this is lighter energy. So all the chords in between.
Right. Okay.
So that's when you use crystals for healing, you can decide what that person needs, whether it needs to attune exactly or if you need to switch it up. It gets kind of technical.
Right. So now you said this one's a wand crystal.
Yeah.
Just obviously because
So-
it looks like a wand.
Exactly, and so I can use that to direct energy. So
Okay.
the point on the end of it, so putting it in their hand, if it's pointing up, it's taking energy up the hand. If it's pointing down, it's bringing energy down the hand. So we can help draw out negative energy
Okay.
or pull in the energy that's helpful for your body.
Right. Yeah.
That's
okay.
really cool.
Okay. Great.
So another stone actually is my favorite stone. This is a smoky quartz.
Okay.
And that one I use when we've got a very heavy, stuck energy that we're working with
Okay.
that I can't seem to shift in the normal way that I shift energy.
Okay.
So that stone I will put while they're lying on the table, pointing downwards to draw the energy out.
Okay.
And it does a really good job of doing that. I've had clients that had their eyes closed, and when I put the stone in place, they felt a wave of energy coming through them.
Right.
Which is,
so it kind of draws out.
yeah, the darker stones absorb, so it's pulling out energy, and the point is directing it.
Okay. Great. Okay, and another one here. What other ones do you use?
So I also use the pendulum. So we talked about that a little bit before. So the pendulum can help determine what's going on with the chakras. So with the pendulum, you train it. You tell it how to work with you.
Okay.
So when you're holding the pendulum, you can train it to say positive and negative, and it will go a different direction for positive and negative.
Right.
So the stone is really just the weight. It's not being used as a vibrational piece, but it is a detector for which direction or how the energy is flowing or not flowing.
So kind of like a communication device for any sort of intuitive or divine guidance or you know, to answer your questions.
Yeah, that it's good for that too, but I say it's like a red light indicator, because
Okay.
it doesn't actually do anything, but there are some tiny muscles in your fingers that are actually moving to tell you what you actually already know.
Right.
And the pendulum just reports back to you what you know.
Okay.
So
that kind of comes with that saying where you know, that belief of we're born with everything we really need to know. We just forget, or we get you know, or we buy into messages that tell us differently and have no faith or trust in our abilities.
Yeah.
So this helps us tap into that.
it does, and it helps train you to trust your instincts too.
Right.
So I still use it because it's a very quick way to determine things, but you can then trust your own instincts after you've seen that work a few times.
Right. Okay. Good. What's some other examples? You've got quite a collection here, so we maybe look at some other ones.
So the rose quartz. So there's a great big piece of rose quartz on the table here.
Right.
And then the rose quartz wand. So the rose quartz, a lot of times a client will come to me and there's an imbalance in their life because they're giving more than they're receiving. How many times do you hear
Yes.
that? Usually women, and it's quite a common occurrence. So
Right.
so really what I like to do with that stone is they put it in their hand pointing up their arm,
Okay.
in their left hand, because their left side is their receiving side.
Okay.
And so it gives them a burst of loving energy that they can use. So that energy comes up and starts to feed them,
Right.
because they're not asking for assistance, they're not asking for help, they're just doing and giving all the time. So there's an imbalance.
Right.
So they're giving out more than they're receiving. So that energy of the crystal will help replace that and
Right.
balance their energy.
Right. And also, I mean, as you say, that's a chronic problem, particularly with women. And so having them even have that realization of what they're doing, that they're not balancing themselves out, so that they can learn to do it themselves, right?
Exactly.
Is that the idea?
Exactly. And what I find often is when I'm working with them and my hands are on their shoulders, I can feel one side is feeling different to the other.
Right.
So if it's a case of not receiving enough, that left side will feel lower.
Right.
And this is more muscle or bulk or energy. There's much more going on the other side of the shoulder.
Right.
And so when I put the crystal in their hand, it starts to even off a little bit.
Okay.
And they can feel that themselves. And usually that shows itself in neck problems, shoulder problems, weight on your shoulder problems, that kind of thing.
Right.
So when you're feeling that you're out of balance physically, then using the crystals can help you bring back that balance so that you know what normal is.
Right.
Rather than just keep going until you crash and burn.
Right. Right. Which
Yeah.
many people do,
They do,
unfortunately.
they
Right.
do, but I can help them then too.
Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. There's still help.
Yeah.
Any others that we want to touch on?
The different chakras with the different colors, we can talk about that with the crystals too, because if somebody wants to try doing their own chakra balancing at home, just putting the certain color of the vibration of the one chakra
Right.
So lying down and putting stones on your body, laying on of stones, it's an old
Is that
term.
one of the pictures were that you brought in? Was it? Maybe we
Yeah,
could
yeah.
also get that as well. But for instance, you've got that purple one. What did you call that
That's
one?
an amethyst.
Okay.
And so the picture there is laying the stones on the body there. There's also a pendulum.
Right.
That is
So that's what you're talking
determining.
about, where different colored stones can go in the different chakra.
Exactly. So we've got the root chakra being red, the sacral chakra, which is just below the navel, which is orange, the solar plexus chakra, which is yellow, then the heart chakra, which is either green or pink, the throat chakra, which is blue, the third eye chakra, which is indigo, and then the crown chakra, which is either violet or white. So you could lay on the stones of those colors.
Now we've actually got your third picture up here. What's that?
That is one of my ancient amulets. So why I got into making jewelry with the crystals is that it's great to come to somebody like myself to help balance your chakras. But what do you do the rest of the time?
Right.
So I decided it would be a great idea to be able to wear the crystals. So that you can help yourself. So that particular one is great for the solar plexus. A lot of people have digestive issues or power self-worth issues. So wearing that kind of a crystal, any kind of crystal, is going to help your body be in balance.
Right. So then you have different crystals for different things that you need depending on where the imbalance is.
The great thing is you don't have to know which crystal to wear. And you don't need to know which crystal to place on which chakra. That's just a suggestion, is following the colors of the chakra.
Right.
But your intuition,
whatever you reach for, that's probably what you need.
Exactly. And that's how the jewelry sells. I don't have to sell the jewelry. The jewelry, after somebody touches it, decides, oh, I have to have this. And because there's a resonance going on, there's something that they need, they just know they love it, and that's all they need to know.
That's
and
great.
then it does its magic.
Yay. All right. Well, we'll talk more about this when we return.